if it doesn't work, but we're gonna try it. All right, you guys. How was everyone's break? That good, huh? We need to be off. Anything else while I go over your final? Anyone want to share anything they did? A whole week away from here. It was hard waking up this morning, that's for sure. No one wants to share anything they did last week? No? Wow, you guys must have had a really good time. Huh? All right, so what we are doing for the next 5 days, and you're going to start presenting what you're doing. Up here. You're going to start presenting what you're doing Friday. Oh, that ringing is terrible. And finish presenting on Monday. I believe the schedule hasn't changed third term. I think anyone, right? It hasn't changed. We're just adding on the end of the school year. So we have finals Monday and Tuesday of next week. So your final is going to be called your passion project. And you have 4.5 days to do whatever the heck you want and explore something new, and then you're going to create something out of that exploration, and then you're going to share it with the class. And you're going to be graded on what you are learning and documenting it down and the time you use during class. So if you spend 60 out of the 90 minutes on your phone, you're going to get a bad grade. A lot of it is how you're using the time. So you don't have to necessarily have a complete, immaculate project in 4.5 days, but you have to show that you're learning something and using technology in the way of learning it, okay? So I'm going to share a couple videos showing you students exploring. One video isn't necessarily using technology, but one is talking about different things, and maybe that will be like, spark something new for you to use the computer, some sort of technology. And then I have really good past student examples in the last year and a half to share, 4 or 5 of them, just to show you different things that students have used, okay? And then I'm going to get into a lot more stuff. I have a whole module full of what you guys all need to use for, but I don't want to take a ton of your time up also because usually you have around 7 days, and so it had to be cut down a little bit, okay? Cecilia?
Never mind.
Okay, if keep that question, whatever you had, and then if you still have it up at the end of all this, I'll answer. Okay, so I have two 2-minute videos is all. Okay, so start thinking something maybe that we've touched on or any software. The great thing here about your new laptops is if I can talk to IT and they can put on some sort of free software well, we'll get to that. Just think about different things here. This one is some student examples. Some you can barely hear. Now, this is just a different class. It's not technology. It's not, what's happening? It's not technology based. So, some wouldn't work, but it still gives you, how could I use this? One is like painting a mural. Well, think of a different way. So someone did, and I have an example to show you, an app on her iPad that had something to do with that. So she transformed it into using technology to kind of paint her user sketch. Is that too loud?
I researched and designed to make an digital cast.
We made an app educating people on the symptoms of concussions.
I researched materials to create a customizable Mac handle that fits perfectly to your hand.
We decoded a video game to teach kids beginner Spanish.
I made a tutorial sketchbook for the children in the Community Hospital visiting public.
I made a video documentary interviewing police officers and dispatchers to raise awareness about what they do for their job.
We wrote and composed songs about teenage issues. 2, 1, go.
I built a website to help spread awareness about social justice issues.
Developed a prototype iPhone charger that charged my phone 25% faster.
For my project, I designed a concussion-resistant football helmet.
Okay, so for my project, I researched solar panels to put on top of the hat, and those solar panels will charge a speaker on the back of the hat.
My Genius Hour project, I created DIY projects out of using recycled materials. Me and my friend are painting a mural in an elementary school to promote random acts of kindness.
I researched different materials and made a reinforcing bridge for soccer.
Created a attendance app for your phone which uses automatically send us in class.
I invented a waterproof sleeve that whenever the football so it wouldn't slip when you're catching it in the rain.
I created a documentary about art to showcase what teens thought about art.
My project was a sports podcast, and 4 videos are posted every week.
I think that gives you a really good idea. And like I said, a couple weren't involved with technology, but how could, if that was something that you thought was interesting, like art or whatever else it may be, how could you incorporate technology? So this passion project has to be something involving technology. It doesn't have to technically be your physical computer, but I've had, even last term I had, a student do she did a vlog of her day-to-day life for that week and recorded it and did editing on iMovie and put it all together. So it was really fun. So a passion project is a project-based learning activity in which students research any topic they are passionate about. Don't just choose something to choose something. Do something that you're going to have some fun with and learn more about and enjoy for the next 5 days. Okay? I already showed you those videos. There was one more that I'm just not going to show. I can print this off for you if you need it, but go ahead if you want to click on the Passion Project instructions. It's worth a good chunk of your grade. So that's why if you don't do your part in one area, it might, I got a lot of A+, 99%. This could affect it if you don't work hard for the next 5 days. I don't want you just sitting and staring at your computer. I want you to figure something out. By the end of class today, you have a full hour to explore and figure out, if not at the beginning of class tomorrow, and then use your time wisely. If you look at the rubric, I'll go over that in a little bit, but if you look at the rubric, it's divided into 3 parts. Your project proposal, which is this paper, you're going to kind of get all your thoughts down. This isn't going to be filled out today because you might not know exactly what you're going with. Use of time, literally, how hard is that? If you use your time wisely, you can get 100% in that area, okay? And then your presentation to the class, okay? So again, your final project, I'm not going to read this all word for word for you, but you're given the time, okay? So if there's something else that you thought of during this class, or just, gosh, I wish we were covering this in, I know, for example, like Xander thought we were going to be kind of putting together computers. So maybe, for an example, I'll offer to him, like, if he wants to look more up about that, like research on how to put a computer together. He can use this class time to do something like that. Okay? So 30% of your grade is solely going to depend on the quality. Okay? So not exactly, is this finished and is this amazing, but the quality of your use of time. Okay? Rarely do you get time to do this, so please embrace this time. Not many teachers say, hey, pick what you want, and I'm going to kind of guide you. Don't just say, okay, there's too many options, I don't even know what to do, you got to give me something here. We're going to get to that stuff if you still don't know. I'm going to help every single one of you to choose like something you really want to work towards, okay? There's a list of standards that we have to meet for this, so I have those listed there. I'm sure you guys all care about that. It says listed below are some passion project ideas. This is these are some things people have done in the past. Ew, why does this look like this? Mine didn't, sorry, the bullets aren't quite where they should be. Hopefully you can read that better. Someone did do this. They started, a girl last term was in the middle of actually writing a novel. So she got 6, I don't know, not 4, because you guys have less time. Let's say 6 days to continue writing her novel. She's like, oh, this is great. I never get time to do this. Okay. Stop motion. I'm going to show you my stop motion. I love this stop motion video. She did so awesome. Her name's Carson. She's a senior. I think she did this at the beginning of last year. But she did it. It was before winter break, okay? And she said it took a total of just a couple hours. I would think it would take longer than this. So she recorded this at her house and then edited here at school during class time. So I think she said she took like a total like 500 pictures. So clearly every one of these is a new picture taken after she colored. She's like, I don't know, I just wanted to mess around. I always see stop motion. So she wanted to see what it was like. I think it's cute. Beep. Isn't that neat? Good job, Carson. Okay, so that's an example of what something that stop motion would be. This is not something my students did. This is something that I got. This is something another student did from another school for fun. It's kind of funny. You just put a video with that. You know, interview anyone. I have a vlog here from a student last two terms ago, maybe. He does boys volleyball, where he came from. Volleyball was allowed. So he interviewed Mr. Dewey for, I'll show you the tiny little clip of this. Jordan, he interviewed Mr. Dewey about volleyball, so he just showed interview clips. He went and interviewed him during the school day. he added music, so he said he's never done iMovie before. He's got a couple videos on his YouTube channel, so he just took the time to put all of this together during school. And he had a topic. He does volleyball, so we wanted to know a little bit more about that. So editing, all of that stuff. I'm so mad. Right here, I had a student, I can't think of his name. He's a swimmer. He's like state champ swimmer here, and I cannot think of his name. I can see his face. But he's like, I've never done GarageBand. I'll just mess with GarageBand. And he did Office, Office, the show Office. He did their theme song, and it was perfect. It was so, so good. And I'm trying to play it, and it won't open. So I'm so mad. I wanted to show you that, but it was so cool. It took him the entire time to get that, 15-second intro song. He said it was hard. And what? What? What'd you say, Nate? Okay. I had a lot of people I had a couple art students create websites. There's so many free websites, and you guys may even know them, to display their art, to display like some of their poetry, to share, I don't care. It can be anything. So they created a website to do that. We can luckily get through Waukee Software Center. It costs them a lot of money to get all the Adobe software. So we can download that from Waukee Software Center if you want to do. I've never done, I always tell my classes this, I've never taken the time to learn Photoshop. Like Coach Bailey teaches graphic design and stuff, and that just looks complicated to me, and I'm like, I would love to spend time to just figure out Photoshop. And so some students have done that, and I can't help you, so good luck. But they watch YouTube videos and just learn it themselves, basically. What else? You can do more stuff on CodeHS. There's all sorts of different programs. There's app development if you want to explore even further. I had someone interview an elderly person and just write about the interview. I had a cookbook. I did have a girl. It screwed up. She saved it. Someone was a huge Hawks fan, Hawk football fan. So he spent probably 2 days just looking up info and putting it in there. And I had guidelines for if you want to explore Excel further, you have to type in you have to learn 3 new formulas and functions on your own and show me them. So if you look at this with code, he's got average, he's got a couple things here. This is somewhere on here is an if statement that they had to learn and other things. I had a list of guidelines here, but they're I just want to create something because I like Iowa football, and they enjoyed looking up stats for 2 to 3 days, and then they created this the other days out of that. This student was going to be in, what's Mr. Coates teach? Mr. Coates' class, and there's some program, and this took him forever. So we can't necessarily do this maybe, but he had a couple open computers. So CAD, is that what it's called? Anyone in his class? CAD, I think it's called. I don't know what that means. But it is a program, and so he designed a, what's this called? Thank you. An airbag on the outside of the bumper if you were to get in an accident. And he said that, this process, he didn't create the PowerPoint. That wasn't his project. It was the entire week working on this AutoCAD or whatever and designing it. But he created a presentation for the class to show his work. So he used a totally different software program that he wasn't familiar with. This kid did this last term. His name's Michael. And I always wondered what he was always just on. He always brought another computer. Any free time he was working on something. I don't even know how he did this. This blows my mind, but this is what he created. Every single one of these things. So this is basically stop motion. Like, this looks like a professional video. I don't even know. So he, like, I watched him create all of these different images. But this is like what his passion is. He literally drew every single one of these things. Like, it reminds me of like a movie. I don't know. Kind of crazy. And I'm not lying, he drew every single one of these things on his computer. I watched him. He'd spend a lot of time at home doing it because this is literally what he loves to do. Isn't this kind of crazy? I mean, this is like, looks like a professional, like, I don't know, animated something or other. And the way he put the music with it is insane. Like, he did this. He probably did this more than he did my assignments in class, but I think it's awesome. I think that's insane. Anyway, that's like beyond. I feel like I've showed you guys. Oh, this was an art student. And then she created a website displaying, she didn't have much time. She only created a couple images, but her goal would have been to continue on putting her stuff, basically showcasing it. So she did this last term. No. Yeah, last term. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Let's see. What's this? NFL kickers. I have a kicker. Who would my kicker have been? Couldn't tell you. Look at all that. Look at all that. He spent a lot of time researching and collecting and putting all that data in. And again, putting in, and I think sometimes people choose Excel because it's fresh and maybe they want to do a little bit more. And it's easy to do stats if you're involved in sports activities, whatever. Okay. I hope I gave you enough examples there. Okay. So if you take a look at, that's where you're going to upload it. If you take a look at these two papers, I'm going to let you keep this. Sure, don't lose it because I'm going to collect it and grade your stuff right when you do your presentation. So I'm basically documenting you by observing you every day for your use of time, okay? And there's no coming back. If you're like, oh, could I change my grade for this? You should have used your time better, okay? So just keep that in mind. I know sometimes you don't think I pay attention, but I'm always watching, okay? So make sure you use your time wisely for that large chunk of your grade. Essentially, it's a 30-year grade, right? This is 30%, 3 things. It's a 30-year grade. Your proposal, sometimes students write so much on here and scribble and change. They just ask me for a new paper to do at the end. That's fine. Don't write too soon. This proposal is technically, I'd like it due by the end of class tomorrow when you have a really good idea of what you're doing because you change your mind so often. You can scribble all over the back if you want for ideas and stuff. But, you know, you got to start somewhere. What are 2 things that you want to do? Maybe you're at like 5 things. Ooh, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this. And then you start looking for the rest of class today and you're like, all right, I got enough info. You cannot be done on Wednesday and call it good. You have to work on something. So if you think you're done, I'm going to say, what else can you add to this? You must work through Friday. So you have about 4.5 days. Again, there's no way all of you guys can present in one day. So about half of you are going to go on Friday, half of you are going to go on Monday, and that's it. Okay, so make sure you have something that's going to fulfill the time. Okay. So Do you all know, do you learn in one of your classes like what a SMART goal is? Please tell me you do, right? Is that in like the 8-9 building or college and career readiness? Good. You learn it in a couple different classes, probably financial lit. So what do you want to learn or accomplish? Okay, so again, you don't have to create some magical project that's complete. When you guys present to the class Friday or Monday, you're going to say, if you had more time, like what would you continue to do? So you won't necessarily have a complete project, some will, okay? So you're going to compose a SMART goal. Who can say what your SMART goal is? What are the things? SMART, what is it? Oh, shoot. Who remembers? Okay. Yes. Attainable. Yes. Reasonable. What?
Relevant?
No, I feel like it's reasonable. Where does it say it? Oh, result oriented. Where does it say that I created this? Result oriented and then time. Okay. I'm gonna have you explore, but at the beginning of class tomorrow, because I'm doing a lot of talking and a lot of showing, I'm gonna go over this middle section. People always don't do the best with this middle section right here. What's a short-term goal, and then what are your action steps to get that? Okay, people always screw that up. All right. So an example would be like my short-term goal today is figure out what my project's gonna be. My action step is not gonna be figure out what my project's going to be. My action step is going to be explore on the internet, talk to people. So you're going to break down that short-term goal. Measure of time might be at the end of class today. So you don't necessarily need to fill anything out on this today. But by the end of class, this needs to be looking pretty darn full tomorrow. Okay? You can add to it. I'm not going to collect this from you tomorrow. We're going to do like a check-in. All right, looks pretty good. You need to edit this. I'm going to grade this when you guys are done with this final project, but like you should have the majority of it, and of course you can make changes filled out tomorrow. Okay? Again, you can scribble all over the back of this or staple a notebook paper to it if you want to keep this nice and clean, or guess what? I can print more out for you. Okay? So if you screw up, I can give you another one. And what you really need to do before you start putting all of this together is, that's why I'm letting you keep this, just make sure you're on track with everything, okay? So project proposal, I have exactly what I'm going to grade you on. Like there's no confusion, there's no questions. If you do have questions, ask. But if you look at the secure, exceeds is met all of the secure standards there, and then just went a little extra above and beyond, okay? So 18, 19 is wonderful. It's still secure. If you guys do great, hopefully you know by now, you're just going to get an exceeds if you do what you're supposed to do and use your time wisely and whatever, right? If you're doing what I asked, to me, that's 100%. So you will be reflecting. I do have a document that you're going to fill out at the end of each day. So use of time. You're using your time every day right here. Student completes the progress report each week. So you're basically just going to fill out, and that should say each day, not each week. So you're just going to basically jot down what you do with your work time every day and the use of time. And then your final presentation, we'll talk about closer to Wednesday, definitely on Thursday. Okay? Whew, you guys got under an hour to figure out what the heck you're going to do. Talk with friends. Ask if I have any. I didn't show you all my examples. I like to keep a lot of the good ones. But I can help you out. If you're like, how do I use technology? Think about what you're passionate about, and then I can help you figure out a way to use your computer or other software programs you might not even know exist, or some sort of site or whatever to display your passion. Okay? Think about what you want to do, and let's go from there. Yep. All right, I'm not even going to talk to you guys for a while. I'm just going to give you time to think. Come ask me questions, yes. Okay. So go for it. Any questions for the whole group? Sydney, is there something you think the whole group? No. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Use the restroom if you have to.
I'm gonna make you
Well, that's where you would have to talk to family and it's
That's what I'm gonna do.
yeah. So look up different things, but you need to basically connect with people first to figure things out. Know where you come from. Yeah.
Oh, like compared to that.
And it just depends on how you, in a organized manner, how you're gonna collect that information. Of course. Yeah, you guys can use these desktops anytime you want. Where'd you get that from?
I went to the
You went to Waukee Athletics?
Yeah, and then on the search part of the page. On the search part of the athletics.
You looked up concussion, or would you look up?
I just looked up forms.
Will you come show me? I'm lost. Yeah.
Can I use the restroom?
Yes. Do you have a concussion, or are you looking stuff up?
No, I had to get one on the paper because I didn't realize that I didn't have one turned in because I thought I did.
I'm not even on. I bet I'm not even linked to the correct website yet. I'll just type it in.
The Wi-Fi is like.
What just happened? That was weird. No, it's not working, is it?
Yeah.
Oh shoot, I still have my recording. Moment of truth. Let's see if any of this stuff recorded.
Okay, right there.